Yo, everybody, beautiful people. Welcome to today's group training. Today, we're talking about something that we do almost every single day, but we haven't really had a dedicated training about, which I think that today is the best day to do it. Mobility and stretching training, why we do it often, and what are the benefits. Okay, so the main thing is, guys, like as me as your coach, like even though we're trying to help you be the best version of you, even though we're trying to help you burn fat, build muscle, whatever your goals are, my number one priority still is preventing injury. Like, cause if you get hurt while working with me, it's just a bad look for both of us. Bad look. So I try to do everything in my power to help prevent injury as we get stronger. Because as we're lifting weights, our muscles are getting stronger, but not all the times is our tendons, joints, and connective tissues getting stronger along with our muscles. And most injuries aren't your actual muscle being injured. It's the tendon, the joint, or the connective tissue being injured because a lot of times people try to get really strong, really quick, lift more weight, and their muscles can handle it, but their tendons and their connective tissue cannot handle it. So as we get stronger and we lift heavier weights, we are more at risk for tendon, ligament, and joint injuries. I've had a lot of these. When I broke my ankles, that was kind of like a freak accident, but I've had other tendon and shoulder and elbow injuries, and that was because I was, trying to get stronger. I was not stretching, and I was just focused on resistance training and eating correctly. I was doing the whole like just focus on aesthetics, focus on strength, and not really focusing on like my longevity in the fitness game and until I really got into mobility. So consistent mobility training, guys, and joint specific training is really like the scientific term that I like to use. Joint specific training is not only the muscles, but also the tendons, joints helping to prevent the injury. So if we can get our joints, ligaments, tendons, if we can get the connective tissue stronger and catch it up to the muscle, we are going to be well more equipped to not get hurt. Also, the reason why we train mobility, guys, I don't know if you've noticed this, but it helps you feel young. Like, the more mobility I train, the more stretching I do, I just feel younger. I just feel better. Mobility exercises help you feel younger, more limber, and less achy. They improve your range of motion, your joint function, your mind-muscle connection, leading to overall better movement and reduced pain. So I just think that mobility and stretching, like, we're going to talk about it. What's the difference? Okay, there's mobility versus flexibility, mobility, or stretching. The mobility is the ability to move through a full range of motion while controlling movement using strength. Okay, so let me say it again. The ability to move through a full range of motion while controlling the movement using your strength. Okay, like when we do the shoulder cars and we're going all the way around, all the way back, rotating back, we're using our strength and our mind muscle connection to go throughout that full range of motion. That's a mobility move. It involves joint movement and muscular strength. Example: squatting with good hip and knee control. Flexibility is the ability to passively stretch and lengthen the muscle and tendons. Focuses on only the muscle lengthening. Example: touching your toes. So flexibility, more like stretching. Mobility, more like dynamic, full range of motion movement. Okay? People watching on the replay, people watching live, I might be talking fast, using a lot of big words. If you guys have any questions about this, you guys can hit the chat, comment below. But mobility training is your body's ability to move throughout a full range of motion and being in control of that full range of motion. Flexibility is your ability to passively stretch and lengthen your tendons, how deep you can get into the range of motion. So you see some people have good mobility but bad flexibility, where they can move their body throughout a full range of motion, but their range of motion isn't that, they don't have that much of a range of motion. So you need to incorporate both so you can improve your range of motion, and flexibility improves the how much range of motion you have, and mobility improves the control throughout that range of motion. Is this making sense? Okay, I'm going to say that one more time. Flexibility improves the amount of range of motion you have. Mobility will improve your control throughout that full range of motion. Okay, you need both to really have the best mobility and stretch routine. Okay, guys? Why mobility is important for you. It improves your joint health. Mobility helps lubricate the joints and maintains healthy movement, reducing stiffness and pain. I train mobility every day, and because it's been such, this is the thing, guys. My whole program is based off things that have changed my life. The things that I push onto you guys. I'm making you train mindset. I'm making you work out regularly. I'm making you meal prep, tracking your calories, tracking your protein, doing mobility, stretching. All of these things help me change my life. All of these things help me be a better version of me. And mobility was a huge part of this. Mobility was huge because I almost gave up my fitness journey, literally, and stopped being a coach, all of it, because I was in so much pain every day when it came to my ankles, my shoulders. I mean, before I was injured, I was, a lot stronger actually than I am today. I was doing weighted pull-ups with two 45-pound plates for like 10 to 12 reps, and I was bench pressing close to 300 pounds. But then I fucked up my shoulder, I fucked up my elbow, and I lost a lot of strength and muscle. And the only way I gained, a lot of that back, a lot of my strength and muscle back, was because of mobility training. So it was just a massive thing that helped me change my life and better my life. So that's why I share it and I teach it, because I feel like a lot of coaches, they only really teach either, the exercises to help you build muscle and get stronger, the nutrition to help you burn fat and build muscle, which is great, but they neglect a lot of the mindset stuff and a lot of the mobility and stretching stuff that really, I truly believe the mindset work, the mobility and stretching work is what's going to keep you in your fitness journey for the long term. Okay? Because if we can work on your mindset, mobility, and stretching, though, to me, those are the things that help us stay consistent for the long term. Because the good mindset, we're going to be positive to do the work, and a good feeling body. Like if our body is not in pain, like when you're in pain, it's fucking hard to keep convincing yourself to show up when you're in a lot of pain. I've been there. But when your body feels good and like you have range of motion, you feel like, youthful, like it's easy to keep showing up. Okay, so there's my little rant. It improves your joint health. It prevents injury, guys. Strengthening the joints and connective tissue protects against injury, especially as you start lifting heavier. A lot of you guys who are doing reverse pyramid training, we are hitting PRs very frequently. Everybody who is doing reverse pyramid training definitely has a daily mobility routine, because if you are getting stronger every week, hitting PRs every week, lifting heavier weights every week, you're getting tighter and tighter, and your muscles are constricting. And if you just lift weights and get stronger, you're going to be a lot of these bodybuilders that don't do stretching and mobility, they're tight as fuck. Trust me, I know a lot of them. But a lot of them are doing mobility and stretching because they know how important it is for the longevity for them to stay in the game. So mobility is going to help improve your joint health. It's going to help prevent injury. It's going to help enhance our performance. Improved mobility allows for better posture, form, and athletic performance in your exercises. Okay, and it really helps with a better mind-muscle connection. Mobility work encourages mindfulness and body awareness, helping you understand your physical strengths and weaknesses on a deeper level. Because when you do mobility, guys, you have to be super intentional, very methodical through every millisecond of the range of motion. Because with a bicep curl or a bench press, you're training the muscle. With mobility training, when I have you guys doing certain movements that, aren't stretches, but they're more like targeting the joint specifically, we need to move very slow, very methodical, because we are trying to get deep into the connective tissue. And when you're going really fast and you're just doing, whatever your movement is, we want to try to limit other muscles from helping and really be super intentional, super focused, and try to target what we're trying to target. So when you do get good at that, when you start getting good at mobility training and you start really understanding that you're training your joint specifically, it builds a mind-muscle connection that you've never experienced before. Because when you can really target your shoulder joint, you can target your elbow joint, you can feel your hip joints and your knee joints. When you can really target these smaller tendons and connective tissues, you have a mind-muscle connection that far surpasses what you built with just working on your muscles and building muscle and strength. Okay? Mobility also supports longevity, especially within our fitness journey. Mobility training keeps you moving well, avoiding falls, and allows you for more independence as you age, guys. Just because you getting stronger and building muscle is great, But mobility is even greater. I know you want to look good and have muscle, and that can be functional to a certain extent, but mobility and stretching is way more functional as we age compared to resistance training. But someone might debate me. My personal journey with mobility, I broke both my ankles and tore my labrum in my right shoulder and fraying in my left, and I've messed up my elbow. I've been through it. After my injuries, implementing regular mobility work helped me recover, reduce pain, and improve joint function. And it even has helped me manage my arthritis from breaking my ankles. I frequently train mobility in my ankles, and like I have arthritis in my ankles bad because of the injury. And without regular mobility training, it would hurt to walk a lot, But because I'm disciplined and consistent with my mobility, I feel good. I'm not in that much pain, even though probably a lot of people who have been through similar injuries as me and are aging like me, they would probably be in way worse pain because they don't train mobility like I do. Cool. Those injuries were a blessing and a curse because it forced me to feel like there must be some other way. There must be some other way besides pills and surgeries. And there is, improving your mobility, improving your mind-muscle connection with your connective tissues. Of course. Of course. Can mobility help with disc issues? Of course, yes. I mean, when you have a herniated disc, things like a deadlift or a squat. I mean, those can be used as those strengthening exercises can be used as mobility exercises because we are working the spine and we are working the full skeletal muscular structure at once, and that's what's really going to help a herniated disc injury. But I mean, I would still talk to a PT. There's a guy that I could help you with who at one point when I first got into this, I hired a mobility coach. This is how I learned so much about mobility. My coach, Dr. Sasquatch, he's an awesome dude. If you want, Kevin, you can shoot me a message and I can introduce you to my old mobility coach who actually himself healed himself from multiple herniated discs. And he talks about herniated discs a lot on his social media. And he helps a lot of people who've had disc issues get stronger and, live normal, happy lives. But Kevin, you don't have a herniated disc, do you? But yeah, shoot me a message. I can give you my mobility dude. Herniated discs are, same with tearing your labrum or breaking your ankles. That's on the level of severity. Oh, okay, for sure. Not anymore. And not anymore. That could be because you have been getting stronger. You've been moving your body. A lot of what I've heard from herniated discs is like, we need to get some blood flow in there. Guys, blood flow equals healing. Blood flow, that's what my mobility coach would teach me. A lot of previous injuries. Blood flow equals healing. And a lot of times, guys, people are so scared of pain. But if you can think of pain as just like a signal to your body that something's off, like there's something that needs to be fixed. If you're experiencing pain in certain ranges of motion, then that's just your body telling you that we need to be doing something different so we can fix, there's something going on. That doesn't mean that you can't ever do that movement that's hurting. That just means that we need to look at your body and see what's really going on. But blood flow equals healing, guys, circulation. And like usually when people have a herniated disc or some type of injury that's been there for a long time and it's degenerative, it's lacking a lot of blood flow. So that's why I try to do mobility and stretching regularly to just get blood flow throughout the body. The more circulation you have in neglected areas, the more fighting chance you have that your body is going to send free radicals and cells there to help you, recover from your injury, recover from that lagging, whatever you got going on. So blood flow heals, guys. Your body wants it to heal. Like think of like a Band-Aid. You put a Band-Aid on and it's healing, but you want to keep picking at it and keep picking at it. That's what happened to me, like dealing with my injuries for so long and like just trying to push through my workouts when my shoulder still hurt. And I was just like picking at a scab and I would never heal. Because I kept on picking at the scab. But until I started doing something different and letting my body get blood flow there to actually heal, the scab could scab over and heal. You know, our bodies want to heal. Like if you're dealing with pain and it's like ongoing, believe me, your body is trying to heal, but there's some type of blockage there that's stopping it from healing. And you need to talk to me or another, specialized professional, and we need to figure out how to heal you. Never give up trying to heal your pain, guys. I've been through a lot of freaking pain. My ankles, that was probably the most painful thing I've ever been through in my life, with breaking both my ankles. That was crazy. Even when I think about it, I start to pee my pants a little bit. It was fucked. But guys, that's just a reminder that even no matter what pain you've been through, we can work to get stronger. You can build muscle there again. You can strengthen the connective tissue again. It is possible. Okay. Mobility training, mobility training routine breakdown. I recommend us to do our mobility training, the daily mobility you guys have, in the morning. Okay, it's gonna help lubricate your joints, and it helps get blood flowing and prepare your body for the day. Because once you start your day and you're all over your desk and you're hunched over on your phone and you're rounding your shoulders all day, if we can do something in the morning to get everything back, to get blood flow going, to just set your posture up for the rest of the day, I highly recommend doing the mobility in the morning, okay? And if you don't have time for the 15-minute morning routine and mobility, I recommend, this is going to sound crazy, do the mobility routine, and then later, when you have time, do that 15-minute morning routine. But if you'd rather do the 15-minute morning routine and do the mobility later, I'm just saying, personally, I think it's best to, prime your body, rev your engines first. Like, think of yourself as like a Lambo. We're no longer Honda Civics, and we're no longer Priuses. We're Lamborghinis and we're Bugattis. A Lamborghini and a Bugatti, you can't just start the car and let it run. You have to turn it on. It has to run through its engines a couple times. Has to go through a few cycles, because a high-end car, it takes time for the fuel and all that stuff. A cheap car, you can just start it and go. That's what most people are doing. They wake up and they go. But for us, I would prefer the more of a comprehensive morning process that we have, the 15-minute morning routine and the mobility routine. If we could do both of those in the morning, would be ideal. I know it's not possible for a lot of you, but that would be ideal, because if we could do that, it's gonna prime us to be Lamborghinis. When we really rev our engines and we really lubricate our joint and do everything that we need to do to be high-level individuals in the morning, it sets us up for the rest of the day. Guys, there's two different types of stretching. There's dynamic stretching and there's static stretching. So dynamic stretching is like before the workout, I have you guys doing some arm circles or maybe some leg lifts. This is just to get blood flow into the body. This is just to prime the body and to get it ready for the workout. Okay, and then so an example of more dynamic stretching is jumping jacks, or even burpees, or arm circles, even bodyweight squats could be a good dynamic workout dynamic stretch. Static stretching is where you perform this static stretch after your workout to help with muscle recovery and relaxation. So static stretch is when you hold the contraction, one of these. This is after the workout. You don't really want to do that before the workout, because you're kind of weakening the muscle right there. You're stretching out the muscle. This is kind of a common thing I see, where people do this type of stretching before they work out. We really should be doing this type of stretching before we work out, and this type of stretching after we work out. Dynamic before the workout to get blood flow, to give us primed, to get us ready for the workout, and then static stretching after the workout to help with recovery and muscle cool down, and to help your body cool down and relax. Cool? Cool. All right. I know I'm talking really fast, guys. I'm using a lot of big words. Does anybody have any questions? If you're watching the replay, if you're watching the live, we're going over mobility, we're going over stretching, something that we do a lot. Cool. The main thing I want you guys to take away from this is that we need to be extremely focused and intentional during our mobility training. I know I say this with our resistance training a lot. I'm like, you have to be, I know I say that, you probably hear this a lot from some of my videos, that we need to be extremely focused and intentional with our resistance and strength building exercises. But with mobility and stretching, 1,000 times more. If you really want to get the real benefit out of your mobility, Like, and you want to build a strong mind-muscle connection so you know and you can feel when the muscles are being activated in your body. Like, you need to be super intentional, super focused when we're doing mobility. Okay? Where was I? How to maximize your mobility. Oh, took the words out of my mouth. Be intentional. Focus on the movements and the sensations in your body. Move slowly, deliberately, especially during joint-specific exercises. Guys, at joint-specific exercises, some of you might be doing like rotator cuff, internal rotation or external rotation. If you're doing kettlebell hip flexor curls, there's a lot of joint-specific training that I know that are in some of you guys' mobility routine. So, boom. Avoid distractions when you're doing your mobility. When working on mobility, you want to stay present and focused. Mobility training isn't about rushing through these movements. It's about controlling every part of the movement. Set timers. Use timers to ensure you're spending enough time each day on your mobility. A lot of you guys are only doing about 5 to 15 minutes of mobility a day, depending on where we're starting at. But even that little bit, see, that little bit can be massive if we make that a habit. If you make it a habit to just do a little bit of mobility and stretching every day for like a year, you know how much that's going to massively change your life? Because that habit that you've done over time consistently has compounded, and now you just feel so much younger than you did before. Your connective tissue are so much more stronger and resilient. So trust me, guys, there's a reason why I push all these things onto you. There's a reason why I push you to work on your mindset every day. There's a reason why I push you to stretch every day. It's because if we can stay consistent with these things and make them actual habits in our daily life, it's going to massively impact your life in a very positive way. Okay? Mindfulness. Mobility training can also help reduce stress and promote mindfulness, because being present in the moment during mobility exercises helps you to tune into your body's needs and increase overall awareness. Guys, this might sound a little hippy-dippy, but I really think that when you get really in-depth with your mobility training, you can really create that strong mind-muscle connection where it's like a cerebral experience. It's not like training your muscles like resistance training. When you can really start targeting the joint specifically and you're mentally aware of that joint while it's moving, it's a cerebral empowering experience that all of the people in my program will experience. Common mobility problem areas: neck, back, hips, ankles. If you have problem areas, guys, let me know, because a lot of you guys who start off with me, I just probably give you a full body mobility routine. But if you have any specific problem areas, I want you to let me know, and I'll help tailor your mobility routine to address these weaknesses and problem areas. Okay? We can skip all that. So, tips for success in mobility. Focus on quality, guys, it's not quantity. It's like, to me, like, the only thing what's good with quantity is cardio. You can do the more the merrier. Keep doing cardio. Like, I'm fine with that. But when it comes to like strength training and mobility, it's all about quality, not quantity. You want to focus on quality. Move slowly with control, ensuring each joint is moving through its full range of motion. Guys, go very slow. Through a lot of these mobility moves, I want you to think like you're moving through sand. Like some of you guys are doing the shoulder cars where you go all the way and then you can't pull back any further, so you have to rotate the shoulder joint. And as my mind is thinking about that shoulder joint rotating, my torso isn't moving with it. It goes all the way down. It feels like I'm just moving through a puddle of glue. Just go very slow and then back around. And just playing with your body more with some of these moves that I have for you guys. Just like being slow, being methodical, and just having that self-talk in your head that you're going to try to push to just be a little bit more focused, a little bit more intentional, a little bit deeper squeeze on this set. Consistency is key. Just like strength training, mobility needs to be practiced regularly for lasting benefits. Customize your routine, guys. I'm never going to have you guys doing the same type of mobility for too long, because after it gets easy, it's just like there's not a whole lot of benefit there. But I mean, some of the fundamental movements we will be sticking with, but still, I want us to be progressing our mobility just like we're progressing our strength. Embrace the challenge. Mobility training can be just as challenging as strength training if done correctly. Like, honestly, as I'm getting older, I kind of enjoy mobility training even more. Because mobility, it's like such a challenge for me, because because my connective tissues were so weak and my muscles were so strong that it was such a challenge for me. And I like a challenge, guys. So it takes time to get your tendons and ligaments and connective tissue stronger. Just like when you break a bone, guys, it's gonna heal relatively fast. When you injure a tendon, it's gonna take years to heal. When I tore my shoulder labrum, it's been about 4 years. And I'm still not perfectly in the clear. It's been about 4 years since my shoulder injury, and I'm not healed 100%, and maybe I might not even ever will be. But I mean, when I first got injured, I couldn't do push-ups for years. Almost two and a half years, I couldn't do a push-up. Almost 3 years, I think. So, guys, you don't want to get injured. So we need to do everything in our power to not get injured. And that's about it. So, guys, this has been the mobility. Oh, there's a lot more stuff. Key benefits of mobility and stretching: improved flexibility, enhanced range of motion, reduced pain and aches, better joint function, injury prevention, greater control over movements, improved athletic performance. Kind of already went over a lot of this. Reflection: how mobility has helped me. Mobility training has helped me feel better, work through arthritis, manage and wear and tear from joints from past injuries. It's a critical part of my fitness journey and a major reason why I continue to train hard without breaking down. Action plan. Daily mobility. Commit to daily mobility work for 10 to 15 minutes, especially in the morning. And some of you only maybe 5 minutes. Tailor your routine. Let me know if you have any specific problem areas you want to address. I'll customize your mobility. Track your progress. I mean, you could use me, you could use the group, and you can use the app, and just mark, like, I held this position for a second longer than I did. This position I felt a little bit stronger here. This one I felt a little weaker. We need to be tracking some type of mental or tangible note so we can look back so when the next time we do this movement, we'll have like an idea of what we did last time to see if we can make any type of improvement. So keep a log or just keep me posted. And that's why it's really important with your guys' mobility routines that you rate how the effort is. If it's 5 out of 10, 3 out of 10, the mobility should be really around a 4 to a 6 out of 10. We don't want it to be that easy. We don't want it to be that challenging, really. Noting improvements in flexibility, pain, reduction of range of motion. Questions to think about. How do you currently feel about your flexibility and mobility? Like, can you guys, everybody here on the live or watching the replay should be able to easily touch their toes. And if you can't, hit me up. Like, how do you guys currently feel about your flexibility and mobility in your current state right now? How do you feel? Do you feel pretty confident with your mobility and flexibility? Do you feel like you are a flexible person? Can you do the splits? Do you want to work towards doing the splits? What specific problem areas, neck, back, hips, etc., would you like to work on more? I know a lot of you guys have neck and back issues that we're working on. But I want you to keep me posted on your mobility routine. How does it feel when you do it? Do you have any pain when you do it? Do you have a sense of relief when you do it? Do certain moves trigger something? Do certain moves help you feel relief? These are the things that you want to let your coach know. Are you consistent with the mobility routine? If not, what's holding you back? All right, guys. Thank you for joining today's training. I appreciate it. I hope you guys got value from this training. We're going over mobility, which is a game changer and is often neglected in people's fitness journeys. So I'm glad we could go over this training. And if you guys Anytime you're having questions about your training, or anytime you know you want a better insight on why we're doing this, come back to this mobility training and review it. All right, guys. But if you have any questions about what we went over, or if you have any specific mobility or stretching questions, hit me up, and I'll see you guys next week for next week's training. Let's freaking go. Peace, guys.